First of all, if we talk about, what are the challenges that people have in achieving anything, and achieving their dream, they're delivering a project, being a whatever, even being a good parent, right? And the challenges are, it's lack of passion, and it's just you don't have your heart into it, right? And that could be for many reasons, because one of the things I'm learning through working, even with myself and others, passion could be you're just exhausted because you don't have the right habits, you're not eating well, you're not exercising, you're not sleeping. So that's where passion could come from, right? Lack of action. So it's funny because, Ron touched on this a moment ago. We're so, in touch with our devices that it becomes a shiny ball syndrome. And we think we're acting all the time, but we're really acting on nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And so the
Yeah,
action,
it's really like it's like striving for mediocrity.
right.
Yeah, it's like we're masters of mediocrity is even a better way.
Okay. And so in the action goes hand in hand a little bit with focus as well, right? Because what happens is if you're so distracted with all the alerts, then you're not focused on that ultimate goal. So what is your ultimate goal? Is your ultimate goal to be more serene, to help, 10 people, whatever that is, whatever, we like to call it, the magnum opus, whatever that is for you, as long as you're not distracted with all this stuff. And if you've had good sleep habits and eating and so on and so forth, it's all intrinsic, right? And then sometimes it could be sabotaging beliefs or lack of beliefs, right? So you don't believe enough for yourself. And so I'm just, and it's a question now, you have the tools, you have the capabilities, you can do this, right? So it's doing all those works, right? So those are the challenges. And then the other challenges is that, the lack of influence. And lack of influence to us is, do you feel inhibited or shy or to just speak out your thoughts? So one of the workshops in my passions pet project I'm working on today is cultivating a culture where there is intrinsic trust that we're actually changing words like, and this is typical project management stuff, right? So we're actually looking at changing words like, escalation process. Escalation has such a negative tone, and for most project managers, it's an allergy of aversion, right? And so what we're using is, what is the response path? So now it's changed. So now it's softer, so what is I think we call it the help response path, the help response. So it's no longer escalating. Escalating sounds terrible, right? The other thing is, the other thing was, continuous improvement. It's one of those buzzwords that's been in the industry for so long that I almost feel like people have a negative reaction to that word, right? So now instead of saying continuous improvement, we're using words like, establishing trust of open communications, but it's just this openness. So again, lack of influence is, do you feel comfortable doing all these things? So those are your challenges. So